following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
At 15 seconds, guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. We have a liftoff. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
Shadow. 4 forward, drift into the right a little. 30 seconds forward, drift. Contact light. Okay, engine stop. Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Armstrong is on the moon. Neil Armstrong, 38-year-old American, standing on the surface of the moon. On this July 20th, 1969.
That's one small step for man. One giant leap for mankind.
Good afternoon. This is Oswaldo Ferro from NBC News, bringing you a live interview with Neil Armstrong, a man born in a very small town in Ohio to Viola and Stephen Armstrong, who has now become the first man to ever set foot on the moon. Commander Armstrong, do you copy?
Loud and clear. Good afternoon, Oswaldo.
Commander Armstrong, yesterday, July 20, 1969, you became a world and national hero, the most admired man on Earth. But little we know about the steps that led you to this moment. Please tell us about your childhood, those early days in your hometown, Wapakoneta.
Well, I wouldn't say that is my hometown, actually. Wapakoneta has often been regarded as my hometown. But the 3 years of my childhood that I cherish the most were the ones at Upper. When I was growing up, we were always on the move. We lived in Warren, Jefferson, St. Mary's, Upper Sandusky, and Wapakoneta, all of these in Ohio. Good news is that I didn't have a hard time adapting to each of the new environs. Moving resulted in making my two siblings, Dean and June, my closest childhood companions.
If I remember correctly, you were involved in the Boy Scouts at Upper Sandusky. Can you tell us about that experience as a Boy Scout of America?
Yes, that's right. Troop 25 of Ohio. At that time, the U.S. declared war on Germany, and so the Scouts became immersed in the wartime environment. We, for example, made airplane models and sent them to the military and civil defense authorities so that experts could distinguish between the enemy and the friendly aircraft. This task suited me perfectly, given that from a very early age I've enjoyed building aircraft models. My love for airplanes and flight started when I was 6 years old and flew on a plane for the first time.
And did you have any other hobbies in your childhood?
Well, I've always been musically inclined. Even though I was quite a small child, I played one of the largest instruments in the school orchestra, the baritone horn. I was also part of the boys' glee club and band.
Tell me, Commander, did you have any childhood heroes, let's say, or any influences that led you to who you are right now? The commander of the Apollo 11 mission, and the first man to ever set foot on the moon.
Yes, I completely admired Charles Lindbergh. You know, he was a true adventurer, not afraid to take risks in order to pursue his dreams. For those of you who don't know, Lindbergh was the first man to ever cross the Atlantic Ocean by plane, and he did so in a time where planes were thought to be very unsafe. Just like Lindbergh, I believe that chasing one's dreams is one of the most important things in life, and that one should be willing to take risks in order to accomplish them. My days in the Scouts heavily influenced me as well. I learned valuable teamworking skills, responsibility, and problem-solving skills. all of which came in handy in my life later on.
Who waits for you back here on Earth?
My wonderful wife and kids. I've been married to Janet Sheeran since January 28, 1956. My little boys, Eric and Mark, also wait for me back at home. We also had a little girl, Karen, who passed away 7 years ago. I remember her every single day of my life.
When did you realize, Commander, that being an astronaut was what you wanted to devote the rest of your life to?
I guess it just dawned on me. I had always been passionate for flight, even to the point of risking my peace and comfort for it. I dropped out of Purdue University to become a naval pilot and fought in the Korean War. Later on, I went back to university and finished my degree in aeronautical engineering. Then went to the University of Southern California, where I received a Master of Science in Aerospace Engineering. Following my graduation from Purdue, I worked for the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, or NACA, a group that studied airplanes, where I designed and test flew several aircraft, including the X-15 rocket, which set many records at the time. On September 30, 1958, NACA became part of NASA, and so my days in this wonderful organization began. I believe it is safe to say that flying has always been a big part of my life.
Commander, what do you believe led you to achieve one of the greatest milestones in the history of mankind?
It was for sure due to multiple factors, such as the fact that I worked for NACA and that I was selected in the second group of astronauts ever chosen for a space mission. Also, I was appointed commander pilot of the Gemini 8 mission. I have also worked hard as I could, never losing my determination to give my best at everything.
But according to Deke Slayton, the man in NASA who recruited you for the second group of astronauts to ever be selected, it is your humble personality, combined with your expertise in space matters, what led him and the other authorities of the Apollo program to appoint you as the astronaut who would be the first man to ever set foot on the moon. According to Slayton, your calm, quiet, and absolutely confident personality made you suitable for the commander of the Apollo 11 mission.
I won't take credit for the achievements that belong to an incredible group of people that have worked for over a decade to make this possible. If this is what Deke meant when he talked about my humble personality, then I guess he's right. Maybe he knew I wouldn't boast about being the first man on the moon. NASA wanted the lunar landing to be regarded as a group accomplishment, and accomplishment of America as a whole.
And Commander, how does it make you feel that your footprints will remain on the surface of the moon for thousands of years?
I kind of hope that someone goes up there one of these days and cleans them up.
That seems pretty humble to me, Commander. How do you believe this accomplishment will impact society? Future generations, even. How big of an impact do you believe it will have on the people down here on Earth?
Well, I think it will greatly change the way humans think of and understand space. It will surely impact future generations, maybe even inspiring some of them to become astronauts and explore the wonders of space.
To finish off, may I ask, what is your goal in life, Mr. Armstrong?
Let me back up a bit to the Apollo goal. The nice thing about that goal is that it was so simple and understandable. Send a man to the moon, return him safely to Earth by the end of the decade. Everything you need to know was there. And I think it's a great advantage when goals can be stated in such a way that they are not ambiguous, and when you know exactly what it is you're trying to do. And that was a model for me. I've never been as good as doing that for myself as Jay Kennedy did for our program. But the important thing is that you want to leave a mark. You want to leave the world a little better than when you came. That's my goal.